So, welcome to the No BS Zone, y'all, with Brooke and Shirley. I hope you got that acronym, No BS, Brooke and Shirley. I love it. I love when we came up with that. It was so fire. We share tips and tricks and anything that we can do to help accelerate your money, your mindset, your entrepreneur journey. So my name is Brooks of Isles Pinheiro, coming out of Northern California. I'm a wife, investor, coach, and speaker, and I recently retired corporate, hard time corporate after 22 years last October. So grateful for y'all. Shirley, pass the mic.
Yes. So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shirley Baez. I am a 20-year Army vet. I am an author, a speaker, and a multifamily investor. We are so happy for you all to join us today. The No BS Zone. I know, we came up with the name and we're like, No BS, Brooke and Shirley. And we're just speaking facts here. So it just jives so perfectly. So we're just happy for you all to be here. I was trying to pin our webpage here. I'm going to try to do that. But for those of you who don't know or are interested in looking at our work, to look at our website is www.crackthewealthcode.org. We kicked off this awesome project back in January when we conducted our first webinar. We had a great turnout. And right now we are just riding the wave. We're riding the wave. For us, it's very important to inform all of you about what is Crack the Wealth Code, right, Brooke?
Yes. So sorry, I was saying hi. Thanks, Prince. Because what happens is people see us talking about something like, oh, you got some cool quotes. You guys got this. What the heck is Crack the Wealth Code? What does it mean? What are you and Shirley doing? So essentially, we wanted to speak about why we started Crack the Wealth Code. We both came like a real high level. We both came from, corporate. She has military. We're women in the space. It's very male dominant. And growing up, we never knew how to, crack the wealth code, right? We just were taught to go work for somebody else. And a big of our majority of our focus really is women. It is women between 25 and 45. They make over 100K annually, and they could be a single mom, they could be married with kids, but the bottom line, and we are our avatar. So the women we're trying to help, we are those women, and we want to help other women in the space to take control of their finances, to be able to support their family. And what we're going to do is we want to talk about some of the frustrations, the desires, and fears that we have experienced and how we overcame those and how we feel building that relationship with me and Shirley, and hopefully scheduling a call with us later, how we can help you overcome those frustrations, desires, and fears. So I don't know if you want to start it off, Shirley, or do you want me to start it off?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Um,
We can definitely start it off. And just one thing that we want to tell everybody, Crack the Wealth Code is not just like a punchline, right? Or people kind of take it as a literal thing, like, okay, there's a secret to. No, really, what we want to really render to our audience and to the people that we want to help is just the knowledge and strategies as to how to get to where we are at now. Because believe it or not, when we go out and speak in public, or when we're together, or when we are at networking events, a lot of people see a lot of the things that we do, and they ask us, how do you do all of that? How do you have time to do all of that? How did you get to do that? How did you get that opportunity? Oh my goodness. How, right? And we looked at each other and we were like, okay, they're asking how because they want to understand how we go about just reaching for our goals and our dreams. A lot of times, we just don't know how to. We were able to figure it out, definitely trial and error, but it was because we had huge, audacious goals, right? And those things really ignited us to be curious, to find the answers, to be resourceful, and to lean on each other to help each other grow and get to our goals. So yes, definitely, let's talk about the frustrations that, like, you and I, Brooke, had on our journey that really lent us to not only like create our path, but like try to create, not try, but creating our own economy, which is so important nowadays because we're talking about inflation. We got another presidential season coming up, which totally can change a lot of things in our lives. And we
Mhm.
need to be aware and informed, right, Brooke?
110%. And so, one thing that I wanted to bring up is, so one of my biggest frustrations was I had limited opportunities for raises. And I wanted to live debt free, as well as I have a family to support. So many people know I'm the breadwinner. My husband is so phenomenal. He supports me in everything that I do, but I support the family. So coming from the corporate world, I noticed so many men getting promotions, but not me, but I'm working twice as hard. And what I realized, what the lesson was that I learned is women think that we have to be the first one there, the last one there. And if I just work, somebody's going to notice I'm busting my ass here. And when I saw the men at the water cooler or going out after work and having a drink and breaking bread and a brew, I now further my journey, and while I was still there, realized that's why men get raises. They would rather have someone that might be a seven, because I've always been in sales and marketing, maybe a seven on the sales scale or whatever, but they love them as a person. They're collaborating with them. And women, we feel like we have to just work, and eventually somebody's going to notice. That's not true. We have to juggle having our work, having talk at the water cooler, and then going out with the team afterwards. And of course, having rules, maybe have one drink and the rest water, or just having water, but to build that bond. And being a woman in corporate and having to have imposter syndrome or thinking that, okay, I guess I'm not good enough because I'm not a man or I'm not doing all of these things. I had to pivot and I had to remember to know my worth. So for those
Yeah.
women that are in the corporate world and you feel like you're being discriminated against or you're not able to support a family or limited opportunity for raises, track what you're doing. I started here. Here's how I've propelled. Here's what I've brought to the table. And make sure that not just at your annual reviews, that you go and speak with your boss and speak what you would like. Hey, I would really love to do this, and watch that person say it's a director role. And I have done this far, and speak on that. So I feel that some of the reasons we have limited opportunity for raises, and we feel we can't support our family is part of our own problem because we fail to say what we want. We have a hard
Yes.
time tooting our own horn, right?
Yes.
But if you keep it business and not personal, and you're documenting what you've done for this company, I think you can really go far. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I am with you 1,000%, Brooke. And the simple thing is to ask, but you have to know your value and your worth. You know that you're bringing value into the organization. And a lot of times as women, we have this chip on our shoulders where we have to, like you said, work harder than anybody else because we have to prove to everybody that we are
Get it.
worth it when we are already worth it. It's just a matter of taking our own stand and asking and requesting for what we want and what we deserve, basically. Enough with the days of putting your head down and working and not saying a thing, because I'm right along with you. Even in the military, what set the guys apart from us females, from us women, there is they were in the office with the boss talking and shooting the shit, right? And passing by saying hello, building relationships. It's not even about, okay, let me just prove you that I'm, no, because at the end of the day, it's you against you. Build the relationships, build the camaraderie, show your worth and ask for what you deserve. And so basic thing is ask, right? And so to move along with another frustration, like for me personally, because I came from a lack thereof, right? From a lack environment, and a lot of people know my story, but I come from divorcees, right? Even though I love my mom and my dad, my mom always had issues and she wasn't around that much. And then my dad was a workaholic, which is great. I mean, he has so many great values, but guess what? Us three, this is crazy, but the three of us retired at the same time in 2021, all three of us. And so when I saw that my dad worked so much for over 30 years in the same company and same organization, to then 2 years later pass away, and not being able to enjoy his retirement, right? He also developed arthritis in his hand, and he was a driver, right? He worked at the Hilton Hotel. He parked cars, so he had to utilize his hands a lot, and he developed arthritis. He couldn't do a lot with that, right? And he was ashamed, and all of that. And as his daughter, I would see my dad becoming frail, not understanding what was going on with his health. But to make long story short, almost 2 years after, he just suddenly passed away. And as his oldest daughter, I had to become the investigator, the provider,
Right.
right? Because guess what? My father was a man that he thought he was going to be immortal, right? And so there were things that he didn't put into play, or put into play, but not entirely, that as her daughter and even his son, my brother, had to come in and figure out, right? Because now we're talking about assets, we're talking about trusts, we're talking about inheritance that weren't necessarily planned out correctly. And so now we're looking at each other like, what are we going to do now? All these assets are kind of just in limbo land. And so I had to quickly educate myself. And the good thing is that I had, as a young soldier in the military, I had really the subconscious thought of saving, saving, savings. And maybe because there was lack so much in my life, that the first little $300 check that I got, I had to save it. And I got so enamored with compounding interest the whole time. So when I got out, I was able to have a good nest egg to make moves, right? But it goes back to, how are you planning for your retirement? What are you learning to ensure that you're setting off the right environment to start gaining cash flow and to start gaining interest on the hard-earned money that you've worked for? And so seeing my father, and then playing investigator, and to see that he worked for over 30 years but really didn't have nothing to show for, like there wasn't no real solid investments, or well, there was no pension anymore, but savings. And so I told myself, I cannot, if before that I told myself, okay, I'm gonna do it differently. I am going to cut the generational and financial curses. This time when that happened to him, it was so clear to me that I needed to think outside the box and create wealth for me and my family and my future, to be an example for my niece and nephew, to be an anchor for my brother, who I love, and I know that he looks towards me, because he sees all the things that I've done, but really be smart about investments and finances. And so Brooke and I are here. I mean, look at Brooke. She's a freaking example to say, this is what I did throughout my time, and I was able to break from the golden cuffs and actually retire my husband. I mean, that is commendable, girl. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap, what am I missing here? But there were strategies and things that she put in place for her to be able to make those decisions. There's strategies that I'm putting in place in my life that has enabled me to have multiple units, Airbnbs in the Caribbean, um, also, rental places that I have in other states. But that's because you have to understand the strategies, and we're here to do that for you and to help you.
110%. And I want to touch on a couple things that Shirley did advise, because I interview people for our mentorship and whatnot, and just having conversations. And so many people don't realize that you are putting your money, because we use real estate as the vehicle to grow our wealth. Okay. It doesn't mean we're wealthy right now. We're making the sacrifices, because so many people have said, well, that's easy for you to say. You have, 74 million assets in management. You have this. Yeah, but you guys don't realize is that you stay broke, quote unquote, and Grant talks about this too, almost for like 3 to 5, 7 years. Like, you're putting all your monies and you're sacrificing now. So what does he say? Pay the price now to pay any price later. So Shirley and I are taking a percentage of our money. We're putting it in real estate. Is it making us millionaires now? Not yet, but it will. And then me
Mhm.
and Shirley are going to be here telling people about it, because we're making moves now. You have to make moves now to get the results you want. And 3, 5, 7 years, when you are refining these real estate properties and then reinvesting that money to grow your wealth. So I'm glad that she touched on that. Another thing Shirley talked about, retirement. We're taught that you just go live your best life after retirement. Look what happened to her dad. 30 years, and then he retires, and then he passes away. That's so devastating. And it's like, I want to live my life now. I want to invest my money, make the sacrifices now, put in the work now, and take 60, 80%, whatever my income, whatever I can financially afford, as much as I can, and put it in real estate, and go shop at Walmart and Target and Temu and Shein. Now I look at it, investors are different, y'all. They don't buy a brand new car. They don't, and I'm going to pause, but you have to make the sacrifice now, is the bottom line, so you can pay any price later and you can help other people and do a form of philanthropy. So what does that mean? So when you're investing stock markets, when you're putting that 401k, it's not hedging you against inflation. Real estate is fabulous for inflation. I mean, we can see it right now. The cost of
Absolutely.
groceries is ridiculous. Like,
Crazy.
I'm spending almost double in groceries and I'm getting less. It's crazy. So for your guys' retirement savings, because I know a lot of us women, we're worried about the future. The inflation is impacting our savings. It's because you don't leave it in your bank account and you're not putting it in the stock market. I want you guys to think about something. The government will lend you money to buy real estate, but it will not lend you money to buy stocks.
Yes.
In the stock market, hello,
It
you guys need to invest in
incentivizes
real
you.
estate. Go ahead, Shirley.
Yeah, no, definitely. It incentivizes you. And I'm telling you, and I write it in the chapter for the book that we just launched. That is something that we're going to put out in a minute. But not being afraid to leverage debt correctly. And I've been obsessed with doing this and learning this and not being afraid, because you know that there's going to be riches that come in the back end. The government actually incentivizes you to provide homes for the public. That's why you get a lot of benefits when it comes to real estate. A lot of people talk nonsense about, they criticize Trump. Get it? We're not, a lot of us are not a fan of the guy. But what he knows how to do well is real estate, hard assets, and how to leverage debt. Okay? With the debt that I was able to leverage, I did like a 3-prong approach with that. And those are the things that we want to teach you all, not to be afraid of debt, but you have to be able to take the right debt, okay? A lot of people, when they make money, they want to impress the Joneses. Like Brooke said, they
Keep
want to do this,
up with
they
the
want to do
Joneses.
that. And we're not saying, oh, you have to now sacrifice and buy at Walmart or buy at what's this other at all
Timu,
these, you
Sheen,
know
and
what I'm saying?
whatever.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You should be aware of that, but not sacrificing, like going out maybe
Starbucks.
once or twice, yeah, or indulging, or even going on a travel. We know how to do that, right? We understand how to divvy up what we're doing and what we're investing and what we're spending on in order for us to say, you know what, this month I want to take a trip to the Dominican Republic. And we are,
There.
girl. We're going to Punta Cana very soon.
Keep
You know what
going.
I'm
We're
saying?
going.
Yes, girl. Yes, we are. But there's strategies to do that, right? And
Right.
we're able to teach you that. And that is, you know, and that goes to our third, you know, frustration with women overall, whether it's in their business, whether it's in their career, whether it's in their organization, and that's lack of mentorship. Lack
Boom.
in the right mentorship for sure. As women, independent women nowadays, sometimes we're hesitant to ask somebody to help us, so to ask for help because we're the superwoman of, let me
Super
tell you,
guilty.
become humble and know that you are not the smartest person in the room. Okay? And so we need mentorship. We need somebody to hold our hands. We need somebody to provide us perspective. Right, Brooke? I
Yeah.
mean, what are the benefits that you see in that?
There, there is no way, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, Shirley, because I'm definitely one of those people. I'm so used to taking care of everybody, starting as a young child and the oldest of 6 kids. I, to this day, have a hard time asking for help. I struggle with that because I'm like, you know what? I got it. I got it. Somebody told me the other day, girl, you can't just don't suffer in silence. Ask for help. Like I am that person, but won't ask for help. So I am working on that. I am getting better on that. Right? One, two. Mentorship is insanely powerful. There is no way, just like Shirley mentioned, that I could have retired my husband after 18 months of investing and me 26 months after corporate without a mentorship.
Mm,
There's because what we learned was not taught in schools. So I've paid for over 127K and mentorships. But you know what I did is because I liquidated my 401K. So I'm tired of people telling me, oh, well, Brooke, you had a 6-figure corporate job. It's so easy for you and you made commissions. Da, da, da. No, homie.
mhm,
I left one corporate job, had a bunch of money from my 401K, and after attending a summit with Grant Cardone and being with these millionaires, and a couple of them were billionaires, I'm like, I'm doing all of this wrong. So I kept that money in my 401K and invested it in myself because that's the best investment I can make. And I put it into properties and to this journey because and you've heard me say this, there are no shortcuts in business other than a mentorship.
yeah,
So when you see people in the space that are where you want to be and you connect with them, reach out and pay for a mentorship because Shirley has done that. I have done that. And this is a pay to play game. I'm sorry to say that. And why is that? It's because so many of us pour into people that then do nothing with the information or go kick tires,
yes,
right? So when
absolutely.
we drop money in these mentorships, they know Shirley's got skin in the game. Brooke has got skin in the game. They open up all of these doors. And you guys, it's not just about what her and I are learning. It's because it's not how, it's who. It's the
Mhm,
doors that they're opening up for me and Shirley, just because proximity is power and collaboration is the new currency.
yeah.
And now they're bringing us into the circle. And now we are sharing that knowledge with you. Shirley, I know we have a few minutes. What are your thoughts on mentorships and how has that helped you?
So to me, mentorship is community. It's support, is elevating one another, is sharing without the competition because there's an abundance of resources in this world. If you guys don't know that yet, the limitations are put upon ourselves. Ourselves, we put our own limitations thinking, oh, I have to compete for this. No, you don't. You have to be around the right people and you have to take massive action. And those massive action will create the quote unquote opportunities and luck that a lot of people think that we have. It comes with a lot of work, yes, but if you're ready to really change your life, get out of the lack mentality or the 9 to 5, because let me tell you, there is sunshine and light at the end of the tunnel, but sometimes we need that extra help. And so what I'm telling you all is, you want to change your life, you want to get better at your business, you want to elevate, you want to scale, and you also want to be in the right community that's going to elevate you to places where you never even dreamed of. And that's called mentorship. That's called community, where we're exchanging ideas, we're exchanging information, we're exchanging knowledge and things that you probably never even thought of that now you can apply into your everyday life, that's going to bring you dividends. And it's all about compounding interest. And that's not just financial, but that's with everything in life, y'all. That's with everything in life. And when I find people such as Brooke, who is like-minded like me, it just gives me that much motivation to move forward and know that I am going to be okay. But that takes work, and that takes dedication, and that takes decision from you, because let me tell you, we do have a coaching program, and we don't hide that. We are coaches. That's in our nature to want to pour into others. And that's exactly what we want to do. The knowledge that we have here, we want to render it to all of you guys. We want to share it. But let me tell you, not everybody can work with us. Not everybody that's not in the right state and ready to take action can work with us, because let me tell you, when you come into our space, when you come into our team, you're going to be working great, and you're going to see dividends after that. So
110%, because accountability, I think, is our superpower. And that is why Shirley and I work so well together, is because you know what? We're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. To wrap it up, you guys, I hope you found value. We wanted to share why crack the wealth code, because I know sometimes your message could get lost in translation. We're so passionate about this project, and we see such a massive future for it. And so we kind of wanted to shed a little light. I hope you guys sign up at the link that will be below that Shirley will share. And I think it's also in my bio and her bio. Just a 15-minute, 20-minute collaborative call to see if you would be a good fit for coaching. But yeah, any last words, Shirley? We
yeah.
appreciate y'all.
So our Crack the Wealth Code link is pinned here. It's
Oh, yeah.
www.crackthewealthcode.org. You can also sign up to our newsletters. We're kicking that off, and we just want to nourish you with a lot of great knowledge. We also have, our awesome ebook that you can also get from our website. And also, we just launched our book, Real Women in Real Estate. Whoop, whoop. We're all authors. All these beautiful women back here have provided their expertise and knowledge and experiences into one book. It's a book of storytelling. It's a book of how women, empowered themselves to create wealth in their life. And so I encourage you to DM me and Brooke if you want your own copy. But definitely come join us in our community, the Crack the Wealth Code community, guys and gals. We're here every Tuesday, same time, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, 12:30 Central, where we're going to nourish you with the inspiration, motivation, and knowledge for you to succeed in your life. So thank you, everybody, for getting here and being with us.
Besos y brazos, y'all. Thank you.
Woo!
Hey, sweetie.
Woo! Bye-bye.
Bye, love.